Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to the match reaction for yet another win. It's unbelievable. We are literally winning every single game. This time, another 2-1 victory against Aston Villa. I mean, we made it harder for ourselves in the last few minutes, but we eventually got the winner and absolutely buzzing, man. 5 wins out of 5. Perfect start to the season. I'm pretty sure not many of you would have predicted Arsenal to win 5 games out of 5. That rarely happens. I've never seen that happen as an Arsenal fan. Like Arsenal winning the first 5 games of the season, that is basically unheard of. But we did it today. We've won all 5 games, 3 home games. It was great. When I saw the fixture against Bournemouth away and then next Fulham at home, Aston Villa at home, I was feeling really happy about that one because all we needed to do was basically beat Crystal Palace on the first day, then beat Leicester on the second day. After that, we had 3 very good fixtures: Bournemouth away, Fulham at home, and Aston Villa at home. And Aston Villa started the season very poorly, and it would have been disappointing not to get the win against them, especially after they scored from a corner kick. That would have been awful, but we eventually got the win and another victory for Arsenal, top of the table still. 15 points out of 15. It's going to be hard to hold on to that because Man City are scoring 4-5 goals for fun every week. Haaland is scoring hat tricks every single week. The referee is letting Liverpool win the game in the 97th minute. The referees are obviously trying to take Arsenal away from top of the table. I mean, tell me how that was not a penalty. Just tell me how that wasn't a penalty. But we'll talk about that one very later. But hope you guys are feeling well. Another win, 1 day in the transfer window remaining. Hopefully after this, things are looking good. Apart from the injuries, Odegaard seemed to have seem very tired. Also, Ramsdale, I hope he is not holding his hamstring. I hope it's not serious because I would not want to go into the Man United game without Ramsdale. That would have been a disaster. Obviously, we still have the likes of Partey, Zinchenko, El Neni out. I think Zinchenko will make the game over the weekend. But if we can add 2 players between now and the transfer window and the transfer deadline tomorrow, that will put the fan base in a different place, man. That will definitely put the fan base in a different place. But as always, let's take a look at the lineup. Let me know who your man of the match was, and let me know how you're feeling after that win. Another win. You are getting used to winning games these days. So Arsenal's lineup today, we are really looking forward to it today because we know we had a couple of injuries. We were predicting who was going to start in midfield. Arteta chose Lokonga, and I think he did very well. Like, he did absolutely incredibly. So Ramsdale was in goal as always. Tierney, Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White started once again at the back. Lokonga, Odegaard, and Xhaka started in midfield once again. So Lokonga came in for El Neni from the last game. It was either White plays there or Zinchenko plays there, but Zinchenko wasn't available, or Xhaka plays there. But it would have been crazy to take out Xhaka from that position where he is on that screen because he has been playing very well in that role. So it would have been crazy if you take him out from there. Odegaard, obviously, and then Saka, Jesus, and Martinelli. The thing with players like Ben White and Jesus and Saka, they can basically play every single game without getting tired. I still feel like we need to rest them, especially Martinelli. I don't want him to play every single game after game after game. You're risking injury, but for me, they're playing well, so let him keep going, man. We missed Martinelli when he was injured for 1 year. I am so glad he got over that injury, man. And then on the bench, we had Turner, Tomiyasu, Cedric Holding, Fabio Vieira, Smith Rowe, Marquinhos, Nketiah, and Matthew Smith. So that was our bench. We still see the bench is not 100% strong. You still need to sign a couple of players because you can improve on Holding, you can improve on Cedric, you can improve on the youngster Smith on the bench as well. So Lokonga was given the nod. What about Aston Villa? Aston Villa have been playing with 2 strikers up front, but today they went with 1 striker up front. So they went with Martinez in goal. This Emi Martinez, man. Anyway, Digne, Mings, Konza, and Cash, McGinn, Kamara, and Ramsey in the midfield. And then they had Bailey, Watkins, and Buendia up front. So they didn't have 2 strikers today. They dropped the likes of Ings and continued to the bench. So those are the 2 players on the bench with Douglas Luiz, Chambers, another former Arsenal player, Ashley Young. Yes, Ashley Young is still playing football until today, 50 years later. Archer, and then the other 2 names I'm not going to attempt to say. I'm going to attempt the second one, Augustinson, and then the one above that, I am not going to bother myself. So what we needed today was another quick start, just like Bournemouth, just like the other game against Fulham, a quick start. Can we put pressure on them? Can we try and score early? And we actually did that. We didn't get a goal in the first half, but we had 15 shots in that first half. Like, we were pressurizing them left, right, and center. Jesus was active. Martinelli was active. Saka was active on the right side. Lokonga was playing very well in midfield. Our defense looked solid as ever. They didn't even have a shot in that first half, really. Like, we were comfortable in possession. Saliba, all those guys at the back, very, very comfortable. Lokonga did make a pass in the 3rd minute, lobbed pass, and I was like, I'm really, really happy to see that, because if we don't sign a midfielder, I hope we do, because if we don't sign a midfielder, it won't be great. I really need us to sign a midfielder. But if Lokonga is needed to play, for example, in the next game against Man United, he'll need to be at the top of his game, because they've now signed Casemiro. I think the guy is a 5-time Champions League winner, so he'll need Lokonga to be at the top of his game. And then Bukayo Saka made that incredible run where he went past 5 players. And then this happened to Bukayo Saka. Tyrone Mings decided to go WWE in him. He thought he was Undertaker. He thought he was John Cena. And he pulled him back in the box. And guess what? No penalty at all. It's okay. As long as it's Arsenal, you can foul them in the box. No problem at all. That is what happened. This is another angle of it. Tyrone Mings pulling him down all the way, no penalty. They went to VAR, but VAR usually doesn't check Arsenal penalties. What they check is that on screen. They are checking the club badge to make sure if it is Arsenal, don't give the penalty. If it's another club, fine, give a penalty. If it's Arsenal, don't bother giving them a penalty. Go on with the match. So I wasn't really bothered. I obviously felt bad that we didn't get a penalty, but I wasn't really bothered because we had started the game very well and I knew a goal was coming. 2 minutes later, we got a couple of corner kicks that Gabriel almost scored from. We were winning every single second ball. Gabriel, Saliba in the box. Every time there was a ball in the air, we were winning it. We were showing energy. We were showing determination, passion. And that is something that I really love. Our team spirit this season is looking really incredible, man. Like, everyone is supporting everyone. Everyone is trying to win battles for each other, win battles for the fans. The Emirates Stadium this season, they cannot call it a library anymore. Like, people are like, the fans are so loud this season. Every time we win a ball, even when we make mistakes, the fans are behind the players. That is what we love to see. Like, if I compare this to 3 years ago, there's a huge difference. Like, when we had that Xhaka incident, when we had fans booing Willian, when he had some fans loving Pepe and some not liking him. Some people are complaining about Luis. Like, the team spirit right now and back then, when we had the likes of Ozil and a lot of chaos in the team, terrible. Right now, everyone is working with each other and all the fans love basically every single player. We were very unlucky not to be 1-0 up or 2-0 up in the first 11 minutes. We had another chance again with Odegaard. Within the first 15 minutes, we had 6 shots. Like, Arsenal, yes. Like, usually last season, we started the game slowly. Like, the first 30 minutes, 40 minutes, still 0-0, no shots from Arsenal. Or when we scored fast, there was not shot again. Like, basically, we'd start defending. This season, especially at home, we are putting teams under massive pressure. We did the same against Fulham in the first half. We did the same against Leicester. And even in away games against Bournemouth and Crystal Palace, within the first 10 minutes, Arsenal have gotten 2-3 corners already, and we're pressuring the team. And then came another Saka chance where he missed. I think he should have scored from that one. It was a very good Martinelli cross, and then Saka basically missed with the goal open. I think it was the cross was hit a bit hard, so I will give him an excuse for that one, but I'll have to watch it again. But he did miss that basically post open. So it was still 0-0. And then finally came the goal, man. Like, we waited for such a long time, and finally came the goal. So first, it was a Martinez mistake. I was really happy to see him making that mistake, because Emi Martinez, until today, he has never stopped talking about Arsenal until today. And it was so good to see him making that mistake. And Gabriel Jesus, none other than Gabriel Jesus, was right there to pounce for us, making it 1-0 to Arsenal. We really needed that goal in that first half, because Aston Villa were basically doing nothing. I really wanted us to get 2 goals before halftime, because whenever you're on top of a game, you need to at least score a goal or 2, because you expect the other team to get a couple of chances in the second half, which they did. So Jesus converted from that error from Martinez. It was a shot from Xhaka. Again, Xhaka playing in an advanced role is looking really, really good. He's getting assists, he's crossing the ball, he's scoring goals. So really good to see Xhaka doing well. Finally, man, we've waited for years to see Xhaka having 5-10 games in a row where he does very, very well. And then obviously, Odegaard was booked. I don't know why. Obviously, it's because it's Arsenal. And then Tierney did have a shot as well. We literally had 15 shots in that first half. We also had 67% in terms of possession. And we had 12 shots inside the box that first half alone. 12 shots inside the box. And I don't think Martinez made too many saves. Some of them are getting blocked. Some of them are just going off target, but we were really pressurizing them. It was really good to see us giving another team that much pressure. But I guess some of you might say we need to take our chances because it might come back to haunt us sometime. And I really wanted that second goal because at halftime I actually tweeted and said, if we don't get that second goal, you know what is going to happen. Aston Villa are going to get a penalty or something from nowhere, or they're going to get a corner kick from nowhere, or we score an own goal from nowhere, and boom, it's 1-1. It happened late in the game, though. Odegaard had an attempt from a free kick in the second half, which the goalkeeper saved. And then we made the first sub of the game, Tomiyasu coming on for Ben White in the 63rd minute. I think we'll see a lot of that this season. Tomiyasu coming on for White, or White coming on for Tomiyasu, especially when the Europa League starts next week. We'll see a lot of changes. This was Arteta when we didn't get a second goal and didn't get a first goal as well. Like, he was worried. He could not believe that we hadn't scored a second goal or a third goal. He wasn't even listening to his assistant manager. Like, his head is very far. Like, he's not even listening to what the assistant manager is saying. He's thinking about how we are going to get a second goal. And then literally Ramsdale had the first save of the game in the 72nd minute. He only had 2 saves to make today. Only 2. He only made 2 saves today, and one of them was in the 72nd minute. That was basically almost the first time Aston Villa got into our box. Like, we were definitely not threatened the entire game. I was thinking maybe this game could end 1-0 because Aston Villa were not doing anything, and it wasn't looking like we'd get a second goal. Yes, we are creating, but obviously they had a lot of midfielders on the pitch. They were packing the midfield. They did bring in the likes of Douglas Luiz, so I was kind of expecting it to end 1-0. But nope. Luiz came on. Douglas Luiz, the guy that Liverpool want. We also wanted him like a year ago. He scored directly from a corner kick. Now, let me know, do you think it was a Ramsdale mistake, or do you think it was a foul? Or do you think, yeah, that guy that scored a corner today, I watched Aston Villa against Bolton last week, and he scored from a corner kick again. So this is the second time he's scoring directly from a corner in just a couple of weeks. So he has it in his locker. Like, don't mess around with these Brazilians. He can score from a corner kick whenever he wants. So it was really gutting to see that one going, because we had literally had like 20 shots or something. Aston Villa had 1 shot on target before that goal. They literally had done nothing. And Steven Gerrard on the bench celebrating like his team deserved that. 1-1. But what have we said about Arsenal this season? The moment we conceded a goal against Leicester, we were 2-0 ahead. Leicester scored. We scored the third goal immediately against Leicester. And then like 20 minutes later, Leicester scored again. But like 1 minute later, Martinelli scored immediately. So the way we bounce back, or the way we respond this season, is looking amazing. Every time the opposition scores a goal, we go directly the other side and we score a goal. Maybe you can say, why didn't we score a second goal before that happened? Or why didn't we score a third goal before that happened? But let's look at the positives. The moment it happened against Leicester a couple of weeks ago, the moment they score a goal, Xhaka pushes forward, we score. Today as well, the moment Aston Villa scored, we did not give them time to celebrate. We did not give them time to relax and try to get in some defenders to waste time and try to get a 1-1 draw. Because for them, the 1-1 draw would have been amazing. For us, we needed that win, because from here on, it becomes harder. Like, our next fixture is Man United away. So we needed to win our 5 first games. So seeing Saka and Martinelli did miss a couple of chances before that, but it was a very good run from, I think it was Tomiyasu that gave the ball to Odegaard, and then I think he gave it to Saka, and then Saka crossed that ball to Martinelli. Basically, what happened in the first half, Martinelli gave the ball to Saka, he missed. This time, the roles were reversed, and Saka gave it to Martinelli, and Martinelli converted it. How many goals has Martinelli scored this season already? Against Palace, against Leicester, and today he also, I think, has an assist as well. Like, Martinelli is doing the goals this season, and the one thing I love about Martinelli is the way, if you're marking him as a right back, you're not going to rest in that game. He's going to be on you for 90 minutes. The way he just runs and runs and runs, you will never see Martinelli walking on that pitch. Like, he will just run. Even if he puts in a poor cross, he will be back again after 20 seconds trying to dribble past the defender. A very, very good to see. And the other thing I love about Martinelli these days is he can stay fit. We really missed Martinelli 2 seasons ago and he was not fit. This time, it looks like he can actually play games without getting injured, which is really good to see. 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, maybe even 10 games in a row. Personally, I would still have rested him today because I needed him for the Man United game. But I think he's okay. I think he's okay to go. I guess people say the young players are ready to play anytime, and Martinelli is feeling really, really good, man. He knows if he's out of the team for like 2 games, the players coming from the bench, Smith Rowe can come and have two very good games and he takes his position. Fabio Vieira could come in and have two very good games as well. Like that is what happened last season. Like Smith Rowe was playing very well for us last season. He was scoring goal after goal after goal last season. And then Smith Rowe got injured for a couple of games. And then Martinelli came on and then boom, Martinelli was starting our games from there on, and then we had to depend on Smith Rowe coming from the bench and scoring the goals from the bench last season. This time he knows that's the good thing with having a good squad. Martinelli knows if he messes up or gets a red card or something, he knows if he misses 2-3 games, Smith Rowe is waiting. There's a World Cup around the corner. Smith Rowe wants to go to the World Cup. Obviously, Smith Rowe wouldn't be happy if he sees Martinelli going to the World Cup, Saka going to the World Cup, and then he doesn't go to the World Cup. Yes, he'll be happy for them, but everyone wants to go. And I hope I wouldn't be happy as well as a fan to see Saka going and then Smith Rowe not going. I want both of them to be involved because we love them equally. I want both of them to go, enjoy themselves there with Martinelli, with Jesus and all those guys, Saliba, all those guys that had the World Cup. So it was 2-1, and then we made another sub came on for Odegaard. Odegaard looked very tired, very, very tired. The good thing he can play for us a lot of minutes, but he definitely needs a rest somewhere. That's why we got the likes of Fabio Vieira, and that is why we need midfielders in case Ateta is watching this. That's why we need more midfielders. And then park the bus time. Bring on Rob Holding for Saka, and then bring on Edin Nketiah for Jesus. Last time, when Nketiah came on, he did very well. And whenever a player does well, we have to say it. Nketiah was on that pitch today for like 6 minutes, but he was absolutely magnificent. Like Nketiah for only like, I almost thought I was watching Thierry Henry, like with that number 14 shot. Like the energy, like that is what I want to see. Don't come on the pitch and start moaning about why am I on the bench? Why did you guys give me a new contract? You lied. No, none of that. Like he knows Jesus' quality. Whenever you get the chance to come on and Jesus is on the bench, do your job. And that is what Nketiah has done the last 2 games. Like whenever he's come on, like today alone, like he did not stand, like he dribbled past a couple of players a lot, like 2 or 3 times. There's a time he went past like 4 or 5 players and shot the ball. Like energy, that is what we want. Whenever a player comes from the bench, we need that energy. So it's great to see that Nketiah is with the team as well. Even if Jesus is not there for 1 game or something, we know that Nketiah is ready to play. So that is good. Nketiah did very well again today. Yes, he didn't score, but he did very, very well. He was only on for 5 minutes, by the way, only on for 5 minutes. So that was basically it for the game. Another win, 2-1 win against Aston Villa. Really, really happy with that. Most of you are predicting 3-4s. Fine. We still got the win. That is all that we need to do. Still top of the table. This is the first time we've been top there like for 3-4 weeks. Like that this feels so good. Like being on top of the table for more than 1 day, it feels so good, man. It feels absolutely good. So let me see what you guys are saying, and then we'll come to the player ratings. It could be interesting. I've written down a couple of stats about all those players. Aston says clubs in Europe could be playing 3 games in a week until November 21st. Way too much football. Yeah, we have no, the Carabao Cup doesn't even start until November, but we are going to play every single midweek. Like we have Man United on Sunday. We are going to play our first Europa League game next Thursday away from home against Zurich. After that, I think we have Everton, and then we have PSV at home in the Europa League again. Like so many games right now, you'll have to rotate the squad. So this weekend when these players play, this first team plays against Zurich, you expect Nketiah to start. You expect, I don't know, the likes of I don't know if Zinchenko will be back. It would have been Tierney, but Tierney has had to play the last 2 games. And Tierney is playing instead of Zinchenko right now. But, you also need to protect Tierney. If he goes down with an injury again, we are screwed once again. That's why you'll see the likes of Cedric. That's why we need a lot of squad players. And that is why I think it would be absolutely crazy if at 10 they don't sign players. And that is why I'm confident tomorrow we'll definitely get in a couple of players. So we will be doing those live streams tomorrow. Hopefully, we are going to be talking about players joining us. Thank you, RK. RD12 says, big up, mate. Great win today. I would probably give Jesus man of the match. However, other individual players like Sambi were brilliant in the middle tonight, stood his ground. Yeah, like I saw a lot of comments saying, nah, Lokonga is not ready for a game like this. Douglas Luiz, McGinn, they're all too good for him. And by the way, in case you didn't watch the game, Arsenal were playing football. Aston Villa came to play rugby in those first 20 minutes. Like the way they were just tackling our players, like McGinn especially. I know Lokonga did hit him with his arm at the beginning of the game, But after that, that Kamara guy, like he was fouling our players every single time, like not just fouling, like pulling someone's shirt. No, like hard tackles, like red card tackles. But it's Arsenal. You never really get red cards when you're playing against Arsenal. Lewis says Douglas Luiz, yep, scoring from a corner. We played so well. Odegaard popping it around. Jesus work great. Saka and Martinelli. Martinelli needs to know when to keep it in the corner. Also, Eddie did good hold up play when he came on. Yeah, very good hold up play. I do agree that on Martinelli. Also, another thing, there's a couple of times I feel like Martinelli should have crossed the ball early, but maybe it takes another extra second to make his decision. I would not go as far as saying greedy because he eventually passes the ball, but it takes a bit of time like to make the decision. So there's a couple of times should have crossed that ball. We are waiting for Man United, says Simon. Yep, now we can now wait for those guys. That is a game I wouldn't like to lose. Let me know, would you take a draw at Man United? Personally, I would. I mean, if you go to Old Trafford and draw, even however terrible they are, it's never a bad draw. But you do know, like, if we need to keep our winning, I want to keep our winning run going. And at the moment you draw at Man United, that is top of the table gone, because Man City are playing Aston Villa this weekend. That's another 4-0 win for them, or 5-0. Man City are relentless. Like Erling Haaland, crazy. Naomi says, I don't very happy. I'm not. You don't feel very happy today. I'm not sure what you mean, Naomi. I'm guessing you're happy. Let me just say that is a typo. Falana says he's happy as well. The team spirit is so high, says Abidemi. Ghana says Mori, very impressive, says Kazola. Excellent, says Manga. Can't wait, says Teens. Up the Ghana, says Abraham. Lokonga stood up, very impressive, says Erasmus. Very true. RK says I'm buzzing. Kazola says Martinelli man of the match. Let's see. Who scored? Martinelli and Jesus. Go for Tillemans. I really hope so. Joy. Congratulations, says Paul. Well done, the Gunners, says Barry. A lot of excellent. Jesus and Odegaard, man of the match. Man of the match, Saka or Jesus, says Dondo. Arsenal for life, says Lookman. I really wanted Saka to score today, because you do realize the last time Saka scored a goal from open play was, I think it was back in March or something. You do know Saka's not scored a goal in open play apart from penalties since like March. That's a long time Saka's not scored a goal. So I really wanted him to score, because everyone else has scored. Martinelli, Odegaard, Jesus, it's only him. And he's actually getting the chances, but I do know he'll come good. Arsenal for life, says Lookman, very good job. Says Anissa, well done. Though we missed good chances, yep, a lot of chances. When you have 20 shots, you expect to have more than 2 goals. Why do we keep on conceding goals at home? I mean, the Fulham one was a Gabriel mistake, error. Even today, I feel like we should have done better with the corner, because we never even concede from corners. So conceding directly from a corner kick is weird. And against Leicester City, basically Saliba scored an own goal. So when Arsenal don't make any mistake, there's no team that is going to score against us. We always make mistakes. That's why I'm very sure that corner kick, I'm very sure if you go watch like 20 seconds before that, we probably gave away the ball or something. I am very happy today. And Christopher saying, who are we signing tonight? Deadline day is tomorrow, so we're expecting a lot of business. Arsenal last says Mohammed. I think Martinez is holding the ball too much, says Al Haji. So I will come to the rest of the comments. Let me do the player ratings. Let's see what you guys will give this players out of 10 out of 10 as always. So let's start with Aaron Ramsdale. I've given him a 6 because he only had 2 saves to make today. Also, that's that goal that they scored. I'm not sure. Do you guys think it was a foul? Do you think that the player fouled Ramsdale from that corner, or do you think Ramsdale should have controlled or dominated his box better? But when you concede directly from a corner kick, that you cannot get 7s and 8s. That is that is a crime. You cannot concede directly from a corner kick. That's terrible. So maybe you guys would give him a 7. I've given him a 6 because of that corner, and also only had 2 saves to make. Also, the passing today, there wasn't really anything to smile about, like, oh wow, Ramsdale did this, Ramsdale did that. There wasn't too much. So 6 for today. The next one is Ben White. Ben White played 63 minutes. I've given him a 7 because while he was on the pitch, he didn't even concede a goal. He did. His passes are great. I feel like his passes are great. He did give away the ball a couple of times in the first half, but a lot of people are now starting to see the qualities of Ben White. Like, this is not even his position, The right back is not his position, and that is why he's been playing for us the entire season. I like players who do not complain about where they're playing, like whenever they're needed. That is the one thing you can say about Xhaka as well. As much as many of us are not biggest fans of Xhaka, if we ask Xhaka to play as a left back, he will play. If we ask him to play as a centre back, he will play. If we ask him to play in central midfield, he will play. Same with Ben White. Wherever you ask him, he'll play. Same with Saka. That's not the same thing I can say about Maitland-Niles. That is why I'm not sad about him leaving. Every time someone plays at right back, you hear rumors about why is he not playing at left back when he plays in midfield. Why is he not at right back? Like, I don't need to hear that. Like, just play wherever you can help the team. So I have given Ben White a 7 for today. Saliba, I've given him a 7 as well. But in the last game, I think against Leicester, or was it against Bournemouth or Fulham? There's a game where he had 100% passing accuracy. Saliba did give away the ball today 10 times. So from the stats, he did give away the ball 10 times. So it's not his best performance so far. Giving away the ball 10 times is a bit too much. I did give away the ball a lot, basically, and a lot of those gifting the ball back to Aston Villa. So not Saliba's best game, but could easily have still gotten a clean sheet if it wasn't for that corner. So I'm still going to give him a 7. I can't drop it down to a 6, but I think 6 is just above average. I don't think he was average or anything bad at all. But I've given both of them a 7 with White, but I think Ben White was better than Saliba today. So I've given him a 7 for today's match. In terms of Gabriel, I think Gabriel is our best defender today. Let me know if you agree. I've given him an 8, even though he conceded a goal. Very, very good in terms of his passing. The second balls in that first half, that time we got 2 corners in the row in the 11th minute, and then he had a couple of chances. The way he was going for every single second ball, like all the balls in the air, he would go for them. Any balls on the ground, he'd go for them. Very, very great. Great to see him picking himself up from the last game. He started from the last game. After he gave away that goal, he picked himself up, went and scored for us, and he carried over that momentum to this game. I think he was our best defender today. Did very well. He won all his aerial duels. Like, every ball in the air, he won all of them. 100% completed all of them. So really good to see. These days, Arsenal don't get bullied. Back in the day, remember how much we used to get bullied when you had Wilshere, Ramsey, all these flair players, and then at the back, sometimes you had a tiny Monreal there playing at centre back, or Debussy. We used to get bullied a lot. These days, even when Aston Villa are putting in those tackles, we do not get bullied at all. Like, Gabriel will not allow that to happen. Xhaka will not allow that to happen. Even Gabriel Jesus will not allow that to happen. Those players will be there fighting against you, and that is what I love to see. So Gabriel for today, he also he completed all his aerial duels and also his long passes as well, and also made, I think, 3 clearances or something from today's game. So Gabriel gets an 8. Tierney. What are we going to give Tierney for today? Now, I had 7 written down, but after I checked the stats, you see I've just said Saliba lost the ball 10 times. Tierney lost the ball 18 times. Yes, 1-8. Now, obviously, when a player goes forward and crosses tries to cross the ball, obviously that is counted as possession lost. But 18 times losing the ball is a bit too much. And I'm not seeing Tierney is still a very good player, but I'm not seeing the Tierney from 2 years ago. Maybe it's the injury. You remember the Tierney from 2 years ago, the Tierney who used to run forward and get assist after assist after assist. He's not getting himself forward as much. I don't know if it's the instruction from the manager, but we can't really say that because Zinchenko has been playing the same position this season as well, and he's already picked up an assist and he's been pushing forward a lot. Like even in preseason when he played against Chelsea, Zinchenko went forward so many times. So they are playing in the same position, but whatever Zinchenko is giving us in terms of going forward is not the same with Tierney. And Tierney is the one who's usually very good at going forward. So I'm not sure about what is happening. He's not really a threat like he was 2 years ago, even last year. Maybe it's the injury. Maybe he's trying to protect himself. But I've given him a 6, losing the ball 18 times. Terrible. And also in terms of clearances, he didn't make any clearances at all, 0. And he didn't block any shots, 0. So basically, in terms of defensive work, you can say he did not much. So no clearances, no blocks, and gave away the ball 18 times. And going forward, Zinchenko has been doing better than him this season. Not to say sell Tierney tomorrow or something. No, we still definitely need Tierney. And if he picks up his game, 100% is going to be lethal. Because right now, if I ask many of you, who do you prefer to start against Man United? Would you start Zinchenko or Tierney against Man United? I'm pretty sure many of you would say Zinchenko because of what you've seen. Let me know. Who would you start between the first two? So those two guys. So in terms of defense, Ramsdale 6, Ben White 7, Saliba 7, Gabriel 8, and Tierney 6. Let's go to the midfielders. Let's start with Albert Sambi Lokonga. Many people are complaining about signing midfielders. Lokonga is not good enough. Well, today he was great. 8 out of 10 for Lokonga for today's game. So he completed 93% of his passes. That is something that you need to be very good at when you're playing in midfield. Because if you're a midfielder and you can't pass the ball, then you might as well just go down 3-4 levels down the leagues. If you don't have a midfielder who can pass the ball, you are in big trouble. You need a midfielder who can intercept the ball, pass the ball, and very good in transition. Like they can pick up the ball from the defender and move it very quickly to the wingers and to the number 10. I think Lokonga did very well today. I'm not a fan of him playing in that position at all, especially when he's by himself like that. Like if Jacques and Odegaard go forward and leave Lokonga by himself, like against teams like Liverpool, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. But for today, he handled it as well. Not only that, not just simple passes, by the way, because you can just pass the ball to your side, and that is counted as a pass complete. He attempted 6 long passes, and he completed 5 of them. Like I'm talking about those long passes, like to Martinelli, to Saka, those kind of passes. He completed like 5 out of 6. And there's a pass he gave in the 3rd minute to Martinelli, which was very impressive. So if he does have that in his locker, really good to see. I think he did well. He covered us. Yes, you can still feel like you need players like Partey there. But to be honest, I don't think midfielders are worst position today. I don't think we actually missed Partey and El Neni that much. I think Lokonga did that great. So I'm going to give him an 8. The next midfielder is Xhaka. I've given him a 7. This is a different Xhaka. Like, we are not even complaining about Xhaka at all. Like, he's not giving away the ball like he used to. No yellow cards these days. Like, you never hear about Xhaka getting a yellow card. Like, never these days. He's going forward. He even helped us get that goal from Jesus. Like, when Jesus scored this goal, it was from a Xhaka shot. Xhaka is the one who shot that ball, and Martinez failed to save it, and it fell on Jesus. So I'm really impressed with Xhaka since preseason. So if he can play like this if Xhaka plays like this throughout the season, we are definitely going to be in the Champions League. The problem is that usually he has some mad moments. He gets red cards 3 times in a season, gives away 3 or 4 balls in a season, loses concentration. But this season, great. Like, that is why we are not talking about selling Xhaka tomorrow. I remember in the last transfer window, we were talking about Xhaka moving to Roma on deadline day. Right now, if I ask you, would you sell Xhaka right now? The answer would probably be no. I don't think anyone would sell Xhaka right now, especially that you don't have midfielders. I don't think many of you would be keen on selling Xhaka. So 7 for today helped us get the goal. Martin Odegaard, my goodness. In the second half, he disappeared a bit, but in that first half, his passes, my goodness, the way that cross for Jesus' chance in the 9th minute, that quick free kick that he took, the way he just chipped that ball over the defenders' heads to Gabriel Jesus, absolutely amazing. He makes football look so easy. That is what you need from your number 10, a midfielder who can make the game look so easy. And the way he controls the game, really, really good. See, he has the control. That's the word. He can control the game for you. He's never scared, and he's definitely showing his leadership quality throughout the season so far. He showed his leadership quality. As of now, I can definitely say I do not regret getting Odegaard instead of Maddison. He's absolutely been amazing for us. We got him for around 30 million only. That's a bargain. If we sell Odegaard today, we can get a lot of money for him. So Odegaard has done very, very well for today. In terms of his stats from today, he had 83% in terms of accurate passes. He had 2 shots on target as well. He won half of his ground duels. He did lose possession a couple of times, 14 times, but in his position, you do expect that because of the passes he's attempting. But key passes 3 times. He also had 66 touches. That shows you that he's never scared to involve himself in the game. He's never afraid to call for the ball and try to basically run the midfield. So Odegaard gets a 7 for today. Really, really fantastic player, man. We have a gem on our hands. I'll tell you another gem that we have. His name is Gabriel Martinelli. He's going to get an 8 for today. I know a lot of you are complaining in the comment section, Martinelli holds on to the ball too much. Why didn't he shoot this? Why didn't he shoot that? But throughout that game, do you see how much pressure he puts on that Mati Cash on that right back role? Like every single ball that he has, he just runs past the defender. We've never had players like that a lot. Alexis Sanchez is the last player that we had who can run past a defender and dribble past you. And before that, maybe Arshavin. Arshavin could do it on his day, but we all know Arshavin could be lazy when he decided to be lazy. But Arshavin could run past players as well, just like Sanchez. And Martinelli can do the same, just like Saka on that right side. So very, very good to see. He got the goal. He got the winning goal again today. He's scoring goals. He's added to his assists. He's playing every single game. Everyone else is getting subbed off. He's playing 90 minutes. He's 100% recovered from his injury. He's looking very fit. That is the one thing I love about him. He completed 83% of his passes today. In terms of touches, he had 62 of them. His crosses, still needs to work on his crosses, though. The last 2 games, he's put in some really terrible crosses. In terms of ground duels, he won 6 out of the 11 that he had. He got fouled twice. He won us a couple of free kicks. So really good to see from Martinelli. So I'm going to give him an 8 for today. I'd probably vote him man of the match as well, but let me see. So Martinelli gets an 8. The next player is Bukayo Saka. I've given him a 7. Could probably have had a goal today. I think we should have had a penalty. If you're just joining, I don't know how that is not a penalty. Mings is literally pulling him down. That is a wrestling move. That I'd be very pleased to see Triple H doing that, but not Tyrone Mings on the pitch. Triple H, Randy Orton, fine. Tyrone Mings on the pitch, definitely not. So Bukayo Saka gets a 7 for today. He obviously got the assist for Martinelli's goal. He composed himself, did not rush anything. He moved to his right foot and put in a very dangerous cross, and it definitely helped us a lot. And they were getting fouled so many times. These players like Saka, Odegaard, they were getting fouled so many times, the likes of Mings. But I think Martinelli was better than Saka for today. But if you ask me, both games against Fulham and this one, I think Saka was slightly better in this one. And in terms of accurate passes, he had a 93% completion. He also made 3 very good key passes. He also attempted 5 dribbles and he completed all 5 of them. So when Saka is running past you, you know you're in a lot of trouble. Running to you, you're in a lot of trouble. So I've given him a 7 for today. And then last up, our guy, Gabriel Jesus. I've given him a 7. Maybe some of you have given him an 8, but I think Martinelli was better. He did score the first goal. What a player, man. Like we've gotten a striker. We have signed a striker. I'm very sure the guys who are saying, why are we signing Jesus? Why didn't we go for Victor Osimhen from Napoli? Why didn't we go for Isaac? They are both very good strikers. Isaac has scored a very good goal today for Newcastle. Osimhen is scoring goals every single week for Napoli, but Jesus is used to the Premier League. The way he's not just a striker who's going to score goals. He comes to midfield, picks up the ball, he dribbles past players. How many times does he win free kicks for us? If you check the thumbnail, the left side of that thumbnail is him getting fouled. I actually have the picture here. That is him getting fouled. The number of times he gets fouled on that pitch, I do get scared every time he goes down because we don't want him to get injured. But he always puts everyone under pressure. Like the way he presses the goalkeeper, always, like he never rests. It's like Martinelli. I guess it's just a Brazilian South American thing. They never settle down and rest. He had 3 shots on target today. He had 74% in terms of accurate passes. Ground duels, he won 5 of them today. He won us I think 4 fouls. He was fouled 4 times today. Really, really good to see him doing that. So Gabriel Jesus gets a 7, and he can always play 80, 90 minutes for you. Really, really happy that we got him. I'm still amazed that we actually got a player from Man City, because anyone coming from Man City is quality. And Jesus for today, I've given him a 7. That is it for the players who started. Ramsdale 6, Tierney 6, Gabriel 8, Saliba 7, Ben White 7, Xhaka 7, Lokonga 8, Odegaard 7, Saka 7, and Martinelli 8, and Jesus 7. So a lot of sixes, sevens, eights. I didn't give any nines and or tens today. I don't think anyone really stood out like Odegaard did against Fulham or Saliba against Crystal Palace. Those were 9, 10 out of 10 performances. But today, don't really think so. I've given Tomiyasu a 6. He was on for around 30 minutes. I think he did okay. We really need him to be fit for the whole season. We really need him in the team because Tomiyasu is another player who can play right back, he can play center back, he can play left back in case he's needed. These are the kind of players you need in your team, especially the Europa League starting. So Tomiyasu gets a 6. I've given Nketiah a 7. He was on for only 5 minutes, but I've given him a 7. I think he brought on so much energy to the pitch, and we have to be fair. We have to deal with the players fairly. I cannot say Jesus was incredible and then I tell you Nketiah was terrible. No, I'm just rating him for the 5 minutes he was on the pitch. Yes, I would still give Jesus like a 7.5, a higher 7 because he was on for the most of the game. But for Nketiah coming on, he did a lot. He did a lot for those 6 minutes. He held the ball up for us. We didn't give Aston Villa time to create chances for themselves. And Nketiah was one of the reasons as well. And by the way, I'm not Nketiah's biggest fan. I was one of those people last season that was saying, nah, if you're getting 20 million for him, sell him. But right now, I think he's improved his game since the end of last season. So Nketiah 7, Holding wasn't on for too long, so standard 5 for him. Same with Smith Rowe. Mikel Arteta, I've given him a 7 for today. Starting lineup, great. He gave Lokonga the chance and it delivered for him. Obviously, we expected a more slightly comfortable game. It's hard to blame him on anything because we created 15 chances in that first half. He's not on the pitch to score those chances. We can't really say we held back or we didn't create chances or we were trying to park the bus. No, we were attacking that game almost the entirety of that game. Like we were taking shot after shot after shot. How many shots did we have in that game? 22. We had 9 on target. We had 6 off target. We had 7 shots blocked. We won 10 corners today. In terms of offsides, we had 1. In terms of fouls, like we had a lot of chances in that game, and I cannot really blame Arteta for anything. I think I can actually Can I bring up the stats? I will try, but he was. I can't really blame him for anything. Maybe we needed a more comfortable win. Apart from that, sub wise. I was okay, no problem with bringing Holding to cover up, no problem with bringing Nketiah, Smith Rowe for Odegaard, Tomiyasu for White, no problem with that. So could have been an 8, but I think 7 is fair enough for this game. And he loves Arsenal. That is why I always wanted Arteta to do well. I have never ever said Arteta out. If you ever find a video where I say Arteta out, you can never find a video where I say that because I've never said that. I've always hoped that he does well because I know he has something in him. I know he has something. He's worked with Guardiola before. I have always said there's a reason why Guardiola picked him the moment he retired from Arsenal, and I'm hoping we are starting to see it right now. And I remember that day he won the FA Cup. I was absolutely buzzing for him. And if he can win another trophy for us, get us back to the Champions League, I'd really, really be happy. I want him to succeed a lot at us. So like it would be great. Like he genuinely loves what he's doing. Sometimes you see managers on the touchline looking worried, will I get sacked? Should I be here? Like, no, he's always involved in the game. He's always part of the game, basically, and I love that. So for today, I'm going to give him a 7. Let me see what you guys are saying about today's match. Let me see. Oh, there are a lot of comments. I appreciate you guys being here. Tomorrow is going to be a busy day. We are going to do a lot of live streams tomorrow. Thank you, RK Arsenal, for live. Awesome live stream. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. 5 wins out of 5. Who knew, man? Who thought we'd do that, man? That's crazy. We've gotten those 5 wins out of 5. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for the support. RK Fasola says Lokonga was super today. Paolo says that the front needs more maturity to be solid in scoring goals. Maybe more composure, Bems, or decision making as well. Sometimes you need to pass instead of shooting. Country to beat Man United says Bems. Edu needs to be proactive in the way he's slowing down the pace of buying players, and we cannot rely on the midfielders and wingers we have now. says Emir. Emir is not happy with the score that you have now. Chikem says Sambi was fantastic tonight. Well done, guys, but you still need to get Tilliman, says Bathas. Great victory, Granas for life, says Joseph. Actually, I've been waiting for you to come to Nketia. Nketia should reduce selfishness. Again, I don't agree with that. Just because he shot that ball in that, obviously as a striker, when you pass 2-3 players, he wants to take over. He wants to try and score himself as well. Obviously, as a striker, when he sees Jesus scoring goals, he also wants to score a goal. I don't think he's selfish, man. I don't think we have selfish players at Arsenal. I do not agree with that at all. I do not agree that Martinelli and Nketiah are selfish. I do not agree with that at all. Definitely not. And this is so wonderful. I'm still comfortable that Arsenal will win against Man United, says Clinton. If we can go to Man United and win, that will be 6 wins out of 6. And after that, we have Everton and Brentford. Guys, can we go 10 games, winning 10 games in a row? That would be crazy. Congratulations, Ghana, says Chicken. Bravo, says Bless. Grace is happy as well. Victor says good for Arsenal, doing well. Thank you. God is going to help us in Jesus' name. Also, we need some more players. Absolutely. Love Arsenal, says Ronia. I love Arsenal, says Weezy. The mood is great. You can tell the mood in the fan base right now is absolutely fantastic. Saka wasted chances. I do agree that he had a couple of chances he should have scored, especially that one in the first half. Arsenal should improve the game because they have a lot of chances, says John. Improve the finishing. I think the game is okay. I think we are playing better than we were playing last season. We are like, in terms of just putting teams under the coach from the first minute, we are doing well. Man of the match, Martinelli, says Ashaba. Is Zinchenko injured? But he is back in training. He will be available for the Man United game. I wouldn't have played him today as well. I don't think there's any need of playing him today at all. Just rest him for Man United game. I think having Tini today can still do the job. Imoga says, so proud. Keep working hard. Manchester United next up. The Gunners, says Brighton. That is a team that I always love beating. We rarely win at Old Trafford. I've only seen us win 3 times at Old Trafford since I started supporting Arsenal in 2004. I've only seen Arsenal win there 3 times and only twice in the Premier League. So it's rare. Even when you win there, it's usually 1-0. Like, it's very rare to win at Old Trafford. Even when they had young players like Rashford playing in their first game, they still found a way to beat us. So I did ask on YouTube, who was your man of the match? 57% have said Martinelli, 19% have said Lokonga, 13% said another player, maybe Jesus or someone else, and 11% said Saka. So I would agree with Martinelli, and then I would give Lokonga second as well. We had a lot of chances to get Griezmann. Griezmann. I wouldn't take Griezmann right now. I'm sorry. The goal should be a foul. That should have been a foul. The goal, or the one that Ramsdale conceded. I agree. They played well, but we need 2 or 3 players to come in. I don't think we'll get 3 players. I think the most we'll get is 2. I'm guessing 1 signing and 1 loan deal. That is what I'm hoping for. I don't think tomorrow is going to be like January. I think we are definitely going to sign a player tomorrow. I don't think we are going to finish tomorrow without signing a player. That would be crazy. Arteta's basically talked 2 or 3 times and said they're definitely active in the market. I'm sure we are going to hear about a player we've never even heard of tomorrow. Great performances, says Edward. When you block a goalkeeper, it's a foul, and that's what happened. It's a foul, says Ibrahim. Ibrahim, I need to correct that. When you block a goalkeeper, it's a foul. It's a foul, unless it's Arsenal. You need to add that. You can block Arsenal's goalkeeper, no problem. When you block Arsenal's goalkeeper, it's fine. As long as it's Arsenal, it's fine. You should have killed them off in the first half and rested players in the second half. We have a couple of days to rest. Let me just look for the table here. I think I have the table here somewhere. I mean, very, very incredible table, man. We are looking good, man. Who knew we'd be top of the table right now? Who knew we would be top of the table right now? Let me see. Do you think Xhaka performs better as a number 8 or number 6? Where he plays right now, that is where I want him to be play. I do not want him to play as a defensive midfielder. Never. That is where he's going to pick up yellow cards. He's very slow to be a defensive midfielder, so I do not want him to play in that position at all. So I prefer him where he's playing right now. I don't want him in the Lokonga position or anything like that. So let's take a look at this table, man. Can you imagine? Arsenal still top of the table, 15 points. W. We're also scoring goals. I don't know if you guys have noticed. 13 goals scored this season. How many goals did we have? How many games have we played? 5 games. Last season, after we played 5 games, we had scored only 2 goals. 1 year later, we have scored 13. So we have already scored 11 goals more than we did last season. Yeah, that is basically impact from Jesus right away. We are attacking teams. We are believing in ourselves. Martinelli is looking good. Odegaard is having the time of his life. Saka. So things are looking good. Top of the table, only 4 goals conceded. And someone said those 4 goals conceded, basically like 3 of them is basically us. Gabriel gave away a goal. Saliba scored an own goal. Basically, they've had like 0 conceded by now. So that is looking good. City are on 13. City have already scored 19 goals. Man City are just on a different level, man. Tottenham are third. Man United are 12th. Man United are playing tomorrow. I hope they lose as always. So if they win, they'll come to 5th. If they lose, they'll stay where they are. If they draw, they'll come to like 9th or 10th. So it's top of the table against 12th. Surely we're going to win that. It's only Man United. They're 12th on the table. 12th on the table. So things are looking good. That is a fantastic table to see. Arsenal top of the table. Not just 1 day, 2 days. No, we've been there for almost a month. Now, let me see what you guys are saying before I end it. Tomorrow, by the way, from morning around, most of you watching here are in Europe and Africa. So 11, 12 in the morning, we will be posting the videos and doing live streams from there. Lasana, but it's better than Saka. Who are you talking about? Martinelli? No one is better than anyone. I don't say that. I love them all. I'm not impressed with our performance today. Truth Atta does not know how to substitute players. We need 2 or 3 players, more players, says John. RD12 says Tierney was really good defensively. I don't know. I've just told you right now that he did not make any clearances. He did not make any blocks at all. So what other defensive tactic are you looking at? Because he wasn't that great. Maybe saying positioning. Positioning was okay. He wasn't really caught out of position. Fine. Nene says, I love Arsenal. He also gave away the ball 18 times, by the way, RD. Sambi did great. He did great. I agree. Let me see. A lot of comments, guys. I appreciate it. Xhaka is a 9. So that is your man of the match, Abdi. You basically are giving him man of the match. He was great. I'm not going to say he wasn't great. I don't think there's anyone who had a 9 out of 10 performance. Saliba had a 10 out of 10 against Crystal Palace. Odegaard had a 9 out of 10 against Fulham, and Jesus had a 10 out of 10. I actually gave him 9 out of 10, Jesus against Leicester, and that is when he scored 2 goals and got 2 assists, and I only gave him a 9. So it is very hard to get 9s or 10s in the player ratings unless you had an incredible performance, and I don't think it was an incredible performance like that. He was great. Thank you, Kenneth. I would have given Jacques an 8. 8 is understandable. He was unplayable in that first half, probably the most underrated at Arsenal right now. An 8, I would tolerate an 8 for sure. 9, I think, is a bit high. 8, I would understand. Obviously, sometimes when you watch the game once, with all the pressure and you're trying to pray the game ends, you'll miss a couple of things. I'll watch the game back and I might correct that one and the one for the likes of Saliba. Gabriel Magalhaes, Martinelli or Magalhaes, who are you talking about? Martinelli delays the ball too much and is not ready to pass the ball on time. It takes a bit of time, yes. Like today, I did notice that. But that is something that he can work on, and that is something that he can improve on. I'm not going to say that is holding him that much back. He's really helping us already this season. If he improves on that, obviously he'll take it to the next level. I think he will. Arsenal needs to sign now, says Femi. Yeah, we can now focus on the transfer market. Obviously, we needed to focus on today's game first and then focus on the transfer market. Elton says, will Partey and Zinchenko be available for Sunday? Zinchenko will be available. Partey, I don't think so, man. Mohammed says, what happened to Thomas Partey? What happens every single time, Mohammed? Injuries every single time, unfortunately. What's up with our signings? We'll hear about that tomorrow and from tonight, actually. There is a reason why that referee belongs in the championship. I wouldn't even disrespect the Championship League like that. He is there, but I think he needs to go back to like the National League or something. Which players Arsenal need to bring before transfer closes? I would say Tielemans 100%. What's going on in the transfer? We'll talk about that one. We really need a midfielder. Obviously, there's nothing that has happened in the transfer. We had a game. So we were focused on that game. I wouldn't really expect Edu and Ateta. Edu might be doing things on the behind the scenes, even when you're playing the game. Saka won us a penalty for us, but VAR is not in favor of Arsenal, so we don't need to depend on VAR. Yeah, whenever even they go to check VAR, even when Ramsdale was fouled, they didn't even bother. I knew they would give the goal. The Jesus brushed Konza out of the way, and I like the fact he's annoying to play against. Yeah, unbelievable talent. So glad that Chelsea didn't get their hands on him. Jesus is amazing, man. He's strong as well. You know, he doesn't get bullied by any defenders. How many players should Arsenal buy? I would say 3, but I think we'll get 2. And for me, I wouldn't even talk about wingers, you know. For me, I need 2 midfielders. I actually need 2 midfielders. I think wingers, you can actually afford to get someone on loan. I want 2 midfielders because the moment you get Tielemans and someone else in that midfield, you're not going to lose any game. Believe me. Like the moment that other team sees Partey's out and then they have to deal with Tielemans, or Xhaka is out, Fabio Vieira is coming from the bench, Odegaard is out, Smith Rowe is coming from the bench. Like those other teams will be like, oh my goodness, we're in big trouble. How about Tielemans deal? We are looking at Tielemans, still waiting on that. Clifton, we are also looking at Danilo from Palmeiras. Thank you for all the comments, man. A lot of you guys. Thank you, Dapo. I can see you as well. Thank you, Stanislas. Again, Ketty is very selfish. Interesting. I don't think so, but I think he did well. I don't think he's selfish, man. He's a striker. That was his only shot of the game. He wanted to take the shot. Come on. Any confirmed deals? Not yet. I'm really happy to see how we win games, says Nasser. These days, there's something about Arsenal. There's something inside Arsenal. Even when Aston Villa scored that goal, there's something that I had a feeling that if we get another chance, we're going to score right away. Like I wasn't really, obviously I was mad that we conceded from a corner. I was sad about it, but I was like, you know what? Still 20 minutes to go, still time. Not really worried because we do have the quality up front. Someone says you're going to go invincible. Just imagine in the year of 2022, the year of Instagram, the year of Twitter, Facebook, you know, back then, those things weren't there. So right now, just imagine Arsenal go unbeaten, man. Oh, we'll take over this social media, man. I love Arsenal, says Anton. I can't wait for new signings, says Gamer. This is our time, says RK. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Tabiloba as well. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Prophet as well. Boys are playing very well. Thank you, Alani Podolski as well. Podolski Rositsky. That is an interesting name, and those guys give me a lot of good memories, especially Rositsky. Amazing player. Another big win for the Gunners. Thank you, Kamara. I appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. And don't worry, even I'll post a video about transfers in the next 1 hour, but tomorrow we are going to be live like 5 or 6 times talking about transfers. So think about the transfers throughout the night. Let me know. Think about it throughout the night and let me know which players you want tomorrow. Hopefully, we can get the job done. But as of today, Arsenal have got the win against Aston Villa 2-1. That is 5 wins out of 5. We are going to win the league, right? We are going to win the league. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.